My sister made me pay for a wedding I was too ugly to attend, so I made it one she couldn't afford. My younger sister Maggie got engaged last year and immediately made me her maid of honor. But I should have known something was off when she texted me dress prices instead of styles, venue costs instead of themes, and signed every planning email with "Thanks for handling the payment." The pattern started early when Maggie claimed she was too overwhelmed with wedding stress to handle vendor contracts. So naturally, I put everything in my name and paid the deposit since she was my sister. Then she demanded I lose 15 pounds to not ruin photos, while she sat there eating the expensive cake samples I paid for. At the dress fitting, she told the seamstress I looked like a cow in the maid of honor dress and made me pay extra for a more expensive one to minimize my bulk. Then she posted on social media about her charity case maid of honor, implying I was some desperate single loser she was doing a favor by including. Still, I thought she was just overwhelmed, and since I could afford it, I decided there was nothing wrong with treating my sister to her dream wedding. But then came the moment where she revealed her true intentions. 3 weeks before the wedding, I drove to her apartment for the final planning meeting with all the vendor contracts tucked in my folder since I needed to make the final payments. I got there early and was about to knock on her door when I heard her on speakerphone with the other bridesmaids, and my heart dropped. Don't worry, I only made her maid of honor for the money. She'll probably ruin my wedding photos by being that ugly. Just looking at her pathetic face makes me sick. I'm dropping her as maid of honor soon, but she's so desperate for family approval that she won't even complain when I tell her. My hand literally froze on the doorknob. A few seconds later, when I'd calmed my breathing, I opened the door, and Maggie's face shifted to fake sweetness the second she saw me standing there. Oh hey, so I've been thinking, and you'd be more comfortable just attending as a regular guest, right? My wedding photos need a certain aesthetic. Hopefully you'll do just this one thing for your sister. I looked at her perfectly contoured face and felt something inside me snap clean in half. Of course, I understand perfectly. I lied, told her I needed to process the change, and walked straight to my car while she kept smiling behind me. If she didn't want me to be there, then sure I wouldn't be there. But neither will my money. The venue deposit was in my name, the photographer was on my credit card, and the flowers, decorations, and catering all had my signature because she'd been too busy to handle any of it. The cancellation policies all allowed full refunds if done 2 weeks or more before the event, and we had 3 weeks. And guess what? All the contracts were already in my hand. That afternoon, I went home and sat at my kitchen table with the contracts spread out like a deck of cards. My hands shook as I dialed the venue first, my voice steady as I explained there had been a change in family circumstances, and I needed my deposit returned immediately. The photographer, the florist, the decorator, the caterer, all confirmed cancellations and refunds since I'd given them 3 weeks notice. With each call, I felt the weight of her words pressing on my chest and kept reminding myself why I was doing this. She'd used me, drained my bank account while telling people I was pathetic, and planned to humiliate me at the wedding I'd paid for. By evening, I'd reclaimed thousands of dollars and felt completely hollow. 2 days passed in silence while I waited for the inevitable explosion. When my phone finally rang with Maggie's number, I took a deep breath before answering. The venue says we don't have a booking. What did you do? The wedding is in 3 weeks. Nothing is booked. No photographer. No flowers. Nothing. Her voice cracked with hysteria as reality sank in. I reminded her that I was a regular guest now, and guests shouldn't pay, so I had canceled everything. She went nuclear with sobs and screams about how I was a jealous psycho who had destroyed her life over nothing. Then she said I was uninvited to a wedding that wasn't even scheduled anymore. I started laughing and she hung up. Our parents called furious, but when I forwarded screenshots and explained what I'd overheard, their anger dissolved into uncomfortable silence. Maggie couldn't reserve any vendor or venue in time, but since she didn't want to budge on the date, she ended up hosting the wedding in her backyard. She kept sending me voicemails about how I didn't deserve love because of what I did. So I ended up posting a selfie from my holiday in Singapore with the caption, "Don't spend your money on someone who won't appreciate it."